Ever find yourself wishing your phone would ring off the hook
Huh?
with people needing a plumber,
Mm.
without having to shell out a ton of cash for those lead services?
Right.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
You shared some super interesting stuff on how to transform a plumber's website into like this lead generating machine using, what was it, search engine optimization,
Yeah. Big
SEO?
SEO.
So let's unpack that a bit, shall we?
Absolutely. We're going to explore those core SEO strategies for plumbers.
Okay.
Think of it like how to make your website rank higher when someone nearby searches for a plumber online.
Right, right.
We'll see why that's so valuable and how it can actually be a more sustainable and cost-effective approach compared to just buying leads or relying solely on paid ads.
I like it.
The goal here is to equip plumbers with the knowledge to make their websites a true asset to their business.
I love that.
Yeah.
A true asset. And our guide for this deep dive is Joseph D'Souza's SEO for Plumbers Plumber Website Optimization Guide. And right from the get-go, the guide emphasizes that SEO isn't just some nice to have, it's a must-have for plumbers who want to really succeed.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, why is SEO so crucial, particularly in the plumbing industry?
Well, I think what's fascinating is how SEO directly connects you with potential customers at the very moment they need your services the most.
Like being in the right place at the right time, digitally.
Exactly. The guide really highlights that SEO can be the most economical way to reach individuals who are actively searching for a plumber. Think about it.
Yeah.
Someone types in emergency blocked drain near me into Google. That's someone with a problem who's actively seeking a solution.
Desperate.
Yes.
Right.
And the guide points out that the chance of those specific searches turning into actual jobs, what we call the conversion rate, is really high, especially for those longer, more detailed search phrases known as long-tail keywords.
So let's break down this long-tail keyword idea a little bit. So instead of just searching for plumber, someone might type in something like cost to fix a running toilet in a semi-detached house in your town.
Yes.
It's that specificity, right?
Absolutely. The more specific the search, the clearer the need is and the stronger the intent is to hire someone.
The guide actually mentions a screenshot showing the volume of searches related to plumbers and plumbing services.
That's huge.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a huge pool of potential customers out there.
Yeah.
Right.
And often plumbers are very focused on those broad terms, plumber, town, name.
Plumber, yeah.
And we've seen businesses actually get a big boost by targeting these ultra-specific problems like noisy pipes at night.
Oh, wow.
Which actually indicates, a homeowner that needs a solution right now. That's a good opportunity.
Now, the guide doesn't shy away from addressing some of the maybe less optimal approaches to getting leads, right?
Right.
Specifically, buying leads from online directories and using those kind of template websites, often offered by Yellow Pages type companies.
Yeah.
So let's start with the whole buying leads thing.
Okay.
Why does the guide suggest this might not be the most sustainable strategy in the long run?
Well, if you think about your marketing expenses, buying leads, especially from those online listing services that are common in the UK, often adds a significant markup to the underlying Google Ads cost.
Really?
Yeah. And the guide mentions a figure of around 40% being tacked on.
Wow, that's a big chunk.
It is a big chunk.
Okay.
So if, say, your competitor's paying £5 to get someone to click on their ad, you might be paying £7 for that same potential customer just because you're going through an intermediary.
Ouch.
Yeah,
That adds up.
it does.
And on top of that markup, the guide also talks about how these companies typically manage the Google Ads campaigns they run.
Right.
And it sounds like that's another area of concern.
Yeah, this brings up the issue of control and effectiveness.
Right?
Because the guide suggests that the Google Ads management by these companies is often automated,
Okay.
relying on software. While automation can have its advantages, it can also mean you're paying for clicks on terms that aren't truly relevant to your specific plumbing services, simply because the software's targeting isn't as precise as a custom campaign would be.
Gotcha.
And this can affect what's called your quality score for your ads with Google, potentially raising your costs and delivering less qualified leads.
So you could be paying more for leads that aren't even a good fit for your business.
Yeah.
You don't really have much say in where your marketing budget's going.
Right. You're kind of at the mercy of the algorithm and their setup.
And the guide offers an alternative. It suggests that plumbers consider setting up their own Google Ads campaign.
Right.
How does that compare cost-wise?
Well, the guide suggests that a tailored Google Ads setup can actually be much more cost-effective in the long run.
Okay.
So you might invest in a one-time professional setup,
Okay.
which includes keyword research, organizing your ads into these relevant groups, and writing compelling ad copy.
Right.
And after that initial investment, you're basically paying Google directly for the clicks without that 40% markup.
Gotcha.
And importantly, by optimizing what are called landing pages on your website,
Okay.
which are the specific pages people land on after clicking your ad, you can achieve much better results. And that's a higher return on your advertising spend.
So taking out the middleman, having more control
Yeah,
over the whole process.
exactly.
Now let's switch gears and talk about those websites from those yellow pages type companies.
Right.
The guide seems quite critical of those.
It is.
What are the main downsides?
Well, there are several that the guide points out.
Okay.
First, there are often really high upfront costs. Even for simple, basic websites, we're talking about, figures like £400 plus VAT for a small website.
They're like 5 pages.
5 pages, exactly.
Right.
Then on top of that, you've got these recurring annual fees, which can easily be £360 plus VAT or more.
Every year.
Every year, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But perhaps the most significant drawback is this lack of actual ownership.
Mm.
The guide explicitly states that if you stop using their services, you might only be able to take the content that you uploaded.
Oh, wow.
The rest of the website, the structure and design, belongs to them.
So it's like renting a shop front, right?
Yeah.
The costs keep piling up and you don't even own the shop in the end.
Exactly.
Okay, now the guide presents what it sees as a much more affordable and flexible solution. A WordPress website.
Okay.
So what makes WordPress so well suited for plumbers, particularly from an SEO perspective?
What's really nice about WordPress is that it combines affordability with that full ownership, right?
Yeah.
So the guide mentions that you can actually get a professionally built WordPress website with around 15 pages and some plugins for under £500.
Yeah.
Even smaller websites like 5 pages and a contact page could be even less, maybe under £300.
That's much more manageable.
And crucially, you own it outright. The ongoing costs are also way lower.
Right.
Good European hosting and an SSL certificate, which is crucial for security, will set you back only about £60 a year.
That's a game changer.
It is a big difference.
But there is a bit of a caveat here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guide operates under a certain assumption.
Yeah, the guide assumes that the plumbing business owner will provide the content for the website,
Okay.
the text, the photos, showcasing their work.
So a little bit of sweat equity.
A bit of sweat equity, but that can lead to substantial savings.
Okay, so let's say you've got this affordable WordPress website. Now, how do you structure it to really pull in those potential customers searching online?
All right, so think of your website like your digital storefront.
Okay.
It has to be organized, easy for visitors and search engines like Google to navigate.
Makes sense.
The guide emphasizes having dedicated pages for each plumbing service you offer.
Okay.
Essential pages like a contact page and an About Us page to build trust and showcase qualifications.
Right. It's all about making a good first impression digitally.
Exactly. That first impression is critical.
And speaking of those service pages, the guide gives some very specific examples tailored for a plumbing business.
Right.
What kind of pages should plumbers be considering?
Well, the guide lists quite a few, like emergency plumber, drain unblocking, toilet repair, even things like bathroom refurbishment or shower installation.
Okay, covering all the bases.
It's about thinking about all the ways someone might search for help.
Right.
Someone with a burst pipe isn't just going to search for plumber.
Right.
They'll likely search emergency plumber location.
Makes sense.
But, and this is important, the exact services you focus on and how you prioritize them should actually be informed by keyword research.
Okay, keyword research. This often seems like a bit of a mystery to people.
Yeah.
What exactly is involved and why is it so vital for plumbers specifically?
So keyword research is all about understanding the language that your potential customers use when they're searching for plumbing services online.
Okay.
It helps you identify those specific words and phrases that will attract relevant visitors, people who actually want to hire a plumber.
Got it.
And the guide makes a distinction between broad keywords, which might have a lot of searches but are less clear in their intent, and more specific keywords, which often have fewer searches but show a stronger need.
So give me an example.
Sure, a broad keyword might be something like central heating.
Okay.
Now, someone searching for that could be researching how central heating works, looking to buy parts, or wanting a new system installed.
Right.
We don't know why they're searching,
Right.
but a specific keyword like gas boiler installation quotes your town clearly indicates someone in your area who wants a new boiler.
Oh, that's specificity.
Exactly, and that's valuable.
And the guide also stresses including your local area in those keywords.
Absolutely. For local businesses like plumbers, that local focus is essential.
Yeah.
Someone searching for just plumber could be anywhere, but someone searching for plumber in town or neighborhood is a potential customer right on your doorstep.
Now, the guide also talks about understanding search intent.
Yes.
What does that mean in the context of SEO, and why is it so important?
It's about understanding the goal behind a search. What are they hoping to find?
Okay.
The guide gives a great example. Drain unblocker versus drain unblocking.
Okay.
Now, drain unblocker might get a lot of searches,
Right.
but people using that term are likely looking for products they can buy to try and unblock a drain themselves.
Gotcha.
But someone searching for drain unblocking town is probably looking for a professional to come and do it for them.
Okay.
So tailoring your website to match that intent is critical.
So it's like knowing your audience, but online.
Exactly.
Right.
Think about the different types of searches. Some are for information, some are trying to find a specific website, and some are ready to buy or hire.
Okay.
You want to focus on those last two.
Okay, so you've done your keyword research. You understand the search intent. You know what terms people are using.
Right.
Now, how do you actually optimize those service pages on your website to get found by those searches?
This is where you put all that research into action.
Okay.
The guide provides a detailed framework for creating those effective pages. It recommends starting each page with a concise summary of the service you offer right at the top.
Okay.
Then elaborate with more detailed paragraphs covering related subservices.
Okay, so for example, on a drain unblocking page, you might also talk about drain cleaning or CCTV drain surveys.
Exactly. You want to cover those related aspects.
And visuals, are they important too?
Visuals are incredibly important, include high-quality pictures and even videos showcasing your work.
Show, don't tell.
Exactly. And, it really makes a difference.
Okay, what else should be on those pages?
It's essential to specify the areas you serve.
Right.
Don't make potential customers guess.
Right.
Be specific. List towns, cities, neighborhoods.
Don't be shy about saying where you work.
And most importantly, you need to communicate why a customer should choose you over your competitors.
Why you're the best.
What makes you stand out? The guide gives an example of a drain unblocking and cleaning services town page
Okay.
and suggests highlighting things like your professional expertise,
Right.
qualifications, state-of-the-art equipment, quick response times,
Okay.
guarantees, even if you have a unique focus like eco-friendly solutions.
I love that.
Yeah, it's about differentiating yourself.
Okay, and the guide even provides examples for the page title and that meta description.
Yeah.
Those snippets that show up in search results.
They're crucial.
Why are those so important?
Well, think of your title tag and meta description as your website's mini advertisement in those search results, right?
Okay.
So the title tag should clearly and concisely state the service you offer and your location.
Gotcha.
For example, expert drain unblocking services in town, your business name.
Okay, nice and clear.
The meta description then gives a slightly longer, more compelling summary to encourage clicks.
It's your first chance to really make a good impression.
Exactly.
Okay, and within the page itself, the guide mentions headings like H1 tags and directly answering common questions.
Right.
So how does that contribute to better SEO?
Well, headings structure your content logically, making it easier for visitors and search engines to understand the main topics on the page.
Okay.
The main heading, usually the H1 tag, should ideally include your primary keyword.
Gotcha.
For example, drain unblocking and cleaning services in town.
Okay.
Answering common questions directly on the page is also really valuable.
Okay, so it's not just about keywords, but also providing helpful information.
Yeah, it shows Google that your page is a comprehensive resource.
Okay, so far so good.
And it also helps you target those longer tail keywords.
Right.
The specific questions people are typing in.
And finally, the guide touches on URL structure, the actual web address of the page.
Yeah.
What's the best practice there?
Keep it simple, descriptive, easy to understand.
Okay.
For a drain unblocking page, something like yourwebsite.com, your town drain unblocking cleaning is perfect.
Okay.
It's clear for both users and search engines.
Got it. So we've covered how to structure and optimize the content.
Right.
But what about those behind-the-scenes technical things.
Ah, technical SEO.
Yeah, the guide mentions technical SEO essentials.
Yes.
What should plumbers be aware of?
So technical SEO is about ensuring your website is built in a way that search engines can easily find, crawl, and understand its content.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes a clear website structure with pages like home, services, about contact, and security is crucial.
Okay.
Make sure your website has HTTPS and an SSL certificate.
Like a digital lock on your shop?
Exactly. It protects your visitors' information and tells Google that your site is trustworthy. It actually affects your rankings.
Wow, security really matters.
It does. Let's focus on those most impactful elements for a plumber, just starting with SEO.
Okay, good point. What else is important?
A sitemap is crucial. Think of it as a roadmap of all the pages on your website that you submit to search engines.
Okay.
This helps them discover and index your content more efficiently.
Gotcha. So it's like a guide for Google.
Yeah, guide for Google.
Okay.
You might also hear about meta robots tags and the robots.txt file, which give you control over how search engines crawl and index your site, and canonical tags to prevent issues if you have similar content on multiple pages.
Those sound a bit more advanced.
Yeah, they are, but focusing on website structure, HTTPS, and a sitemap is an excellent start.
Great. Now let's talk about duplicate content.
Yeah?
That sounds like something that could really hurt your rankings.
It can.
How can plumbers avoid that?
The guide specifically mentions that content management systems like WordPress sometimes automatically generate low-value pages.
Oh, like what?
Like category and tag pages, they don't offer much unique content to visitors.
Gotcha.
So the recommendation is to use SEO plugins to no-index these pages,
Okay.
essentially telling search engines not to include them in their results.
Gotcha.
This helps focus attention on your important service pages.
Okay, makes sense. Now let's talk about the Contact Us and About Us pages.
All right.
What are the must-haves for those pages?
The guide is very clear about the contact page.
Okay.
You need your business name, full address, primary email address, and all phone numbers.
Gotcha.
And directions and an embedded map can also be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Your About Us page is your chance to build trust, explain why customers should choose you, highlighting experience, qualifications, and unique selling points.
Oh, okay. It's like your digital handshake.
Exactly. It's where you build that connection.
Okay.
It's also good to include details and photos of your team to add a personal touch.
Right. Put a face to the name.
Yeah, and the guide suggests a separate profile page for the main content creator, the expert, to further establish authority.
Showing off that expertise.
Exactly.
Now, finally, the guide emphasizes Google Business Profile.
Right.
What is it and why is it so important, especially for plumbers?
A Google Business Profile, formerly Google My Business, is a free listing that appears in Google Maps and local search results.
Okay.
It's really valuable for local businesses like plumbers because it puts your information right in front of people searching in their area.
It's all about visibility.
It is. The guide stresses the importance of accurate business hours, website address, phone number, and location.
Gotcha. Make it easy for people to find you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not just listing information. You need to carefully select your business categories.
Right.
When you set up your profile, you choose a primary category that best describes your business, and you can add additional categories too.
Okay. Like what for a plumber?
Well, the guide mentions an analysis of plumbing businesses in local area showing plumber was the most used primary category,
Okay.
followed by gas engineer and heating contractor.
So choosing these categories accurately helps Google understand your services.
Exactly.
It's like organizing yourself in Google's directory.
Eh.
Okay, so a Google Business Profile is essential for attracting those local customers.
Absolutely. It's non-negotiable.
Lastly, the guide provides some information about the author, Joseph D'Souza.
Right.
What's his background, and why should readers care?
Well, it definitely lends credibility to the advice he's giving.
Okay.
The guide mentions that he's a freelance SEO consultant and web developer with over 15 years of experience in internet marketing.
He knows his stuff.
He does. He's helped many companies improve their online visibility and revenue.
Right.
And his experience optimizing websites in multiple languages really shows the value and reliability of his strategies.
So it sounds like this deep dive into Joseph D'Souza's guide offers a clear roadmap for plumbers to take control of attracting customers online.
That's exactly it. The key takeaway is that by implementing a strategic SEO approach,
Okay.
starting with a website on WordPress, doing keyword research, optimizing those service pages, and handling those technical aspects, you can build a powerful system for attracting new business without constantly paying for expensive lead generation.
And it all comes back to understanding what those potential customers are looking for online
Absolutely.
and making sure that your website delivers.
Exactly. By focusing on that searcher's intent and tailoring your website, you improve your rankings and increase the chances of turning visitors into paying customers.
This has been incredibly helpful and practical.
Glad to hear.
Considering how often homeowners are turning to online search first when they have a plumbing issue, it makes you think.
Yeah.
Could optimizing your digital presence be the single most valuable long-term strategy for growth in your plumbing business?
It's definitely worth considering.
And if you were to look at the plumbing issues you get calls for most often, maybe that leaky tap or that clogged drain, which one would be the most profitable to really focus on optimizing for in your area right now?
That's a great question to consider.
A lot to think about.
Is
Thanks so much for this deep dive. This has been fantastic.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
Okay, we'll catch you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.